Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports, Bay Area Sports Talk. This is Trevor Beckman, your host. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I appreciate everybody who's been supporting so far in the videos. So, let's start off with a couple of things. The Niners, the Giants, and the Warriors today. So, first thing, no news on Brandon Aijuk. I already did a video about it yesterday. We'll go and keep you updated as soon as we get any news, but I still think this thing's going to get done really, really soon. I'll let you know how that goes, guys. But so far, no signing or trade yet. Again, you know I believe there's going to be a signing here, so we'll get to that when we get more news. Also, Trent Williams is still holding out. 3 years left on the contract. I can't tell you how aggravating that is when you got a player who can't come in and play because he's holding out with 3 years left on the contract when he's one of the highest paid linemen in the league. And because he's not the number one paid lineman in the league, he's going to sit out. I hate this attitude. He is an awesome player. I just wish he would get into practice, start getting ready for the season. Of course, he's been in the league for so long, he doesn't really need to play any preseason games, so I'm sure they're going to figure this out because without him, Brock Purdy is pretty much going to be dog meat. You're going to take your quarterback, and you might as well flush him down the toilet because that guy is going to get injured pretty quick without Trent Williams on the line protecting him. So we're going to get that thing taken care of. I'm sure the Niners are going to figure it out whatever way they need to and get him going before the beginning of the year. That I'm very sure. I wish he could get into some training camp, get some practicing in, and get ready so there's no rust on the first day of, Monday Night Football, first game, ready to go. So anyway, a little frustration with Trent Williams. Please get back into camp, start practicing. We want to see you out there. This is ridiculous. You know the Niners are going to take care of you. So let's go. All right. Bright spot. Fred Warner is back. So all those nagging injury that he had, that's gone. He's back at practice today. I'm thankful for that. Bright spot for sure because, of course, he's the anchor, one of the anchors on the defense, and he's back and practicing and ready to go. So this is great news. We got one guy back anyway. Back down to the downer. Wide receiver Purcell is still out. This is our rookie that we drafted number 30 overall, and he is still out of practice. He's had nagging injuries on and off this whole preseason. Not a good sign. Is it time to hit the panic button? No, but something to keep an eye on now. We don't want to use the word bust, but with a player like this, he's got to get going, especially as a rookie, to show his talents and show what he can do. Otherwise, he's going to be on the practice team for the rest of the year, trying to figure out how to work his way into the lineup somehow, some way. He is a guy that I think the Niners were hoping were going to contribute in the regular season this year. And that's still very much a possibility. But the nagging injuries are annoying to see from a guy you just drafted so soon and so early on. Again, not ready to hit the panic button, but something to keep your eyes on. So there's that. A bit of good news. Our defensive line is really banged up and don't have a lot of depth. Just signed defensive lineman Nick Williams. He's a 10-year vet. He's played 97 games, 48 starts. So he will be good as a backup. He'll be good to plug and play in between different plays and different schemes. So that's a good pickup, I think. Good signing. We got that done. We need a little bit more depth just to be a little bit more comfortable on that defensive line because right now there's not a lot of depth. If somebody goes down, we got problems. So thankfully the Niners are starting to address that issue. So do we have depth problems on the defense? Kind of, but that's helping. So I'm not as worried about it right this moment. But again, if somebody goes down, next man up, who knows? We might have some problems there. Thankfully, we got other players on the field that are going to be awesome for supporting the defensive linemen as far as like pass protection. Of course, we got Mustafa, who is doing amazing in training camp and in the first preseason game. I think he's going to start, or if not, he'll be in there quite a bit. And so when you got Hufanga out there as well with Malik Mustafa, two ball hawks just ready to attack the whole field. That's going to be very difficult for wide receivers to get any production against the Niners this year. So I'm super excited to see what happens in the regular season when they hook up. Hufanga should be back, hopefully I'm guessing in the next week. I know he has a meeting with his doctor. It might have even been today for the final sign-off so he can get into practice. So I'm really, really excited to see him back there and in practice again. That's going to happen really, really soon. He'll be ready to go for the first game of the season, I have no doubt. So I'm excited about this defense overall. The one bright spot that I thought would, or the place I thought would be the bright spot, which is the defensive line in the pass rush, is a little banged up, but let's see how it goes. I'm not too incredibly worried, even though I saw some very discouraging things first preseason game. Those aren't starters. Those were guys trying to make the team, and they're going to have to try a little bit harder next game because some of those guys are going bye-bye if they don't get it together and start showing some intensity. But again, it was the first preseason game, so no time to panic. This is the NFL, guys, and people want to panic about things as soon as they see the first preseason game. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's going to take time to ramp up. When you get to the last preseason game going into the first game, if we don't have any injuries, people are firing on all cylinders, and we're ready to go, that's going to be a great thing. I fully expect that for the 49ers as long as we don't see any injuries. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it for the Niners right now. Let's move on to the Giants. The Giants, Marco Luciano was brought up from AAA. He only got 21 at bats, and the Giants are sending him back down to AAA. I have a big problem with things like this, especially with a team like the Giants who are clearly not going anywhere this year. Why are you going to bring a guy up like that and have him get 21 at bats and then send it back down? Let me tell you something about baseball. People have to be, when players are brought up, they have to get comfortable. They have to get used to the schedule. They have to get used to major league pitching as opposed to AAA pitching. So that takes some time to get used to, even for star players. So for a player like this to not get a little bit more time, I think it's kind of crazy. It happens all the time in baseball. It does. You got your shot. You get up there. You either take it, you succeed, or you get put back down to AAA. That happens all the time every year. I just don't kind of really agree with it. When your team is not going anywhere, you might as well give the guys some time to develop and become a better player at the major league level, because something tells me they're going to be bringing them back up again. If not this year, maybe next year he even makes a roster. We don't know. But I think the more time you give these guys in Major League Baseball to get ready, to develop, to become the player you want them to be, the better off your organization is going forward. Again, I think the Giants have a great base for their roster as far as their pitching goes. Their pitching staff is looking great. They need some better bats, no doubt about that, and they're not a great team right now, but they look like the beginning stages of a team who in the next year or two can really be a great team in this league if they continue to build. Farhan Zaidi's got to keep doing his thing. So far, I'm not super excited about Farhan Zaidi. I'm sitting here wearing my A's gear, and I'll do that. I am a super A's hater right now with the way the owner's going about doing things. I can't stand it. I don't watch them very much anymore, other than for the enjoyment of baseball. But Farhan Zaidi, an ex-A guy, was doing some good things for the AAA, bringing up AAA players and players' development and watching those guys turn into superstars. With the Giants, I haven't seen them really do that. Matter of fact, I talked a few videos ago about how the Giants farm system has taken a hit in the ESPN rankings from like 16 to 20. So player development's not there. He's not making any big trades. Nobody wants to come to San Francisco and play because of the location where it's at, taxes, how much they're paying out of their paycheck, and the Giants aren't offering big money all the time. So there's a lot of things going on. So Farhan Zaidi's got some work to do if he wants to keep his job, I believe. But the base is there. If he can build off this and build a team for the next couple of years, you will have a team that you want to go and watch play. He hasn't proven it yet with the Giants, so let's see. But again, let those rookies come in and play more than 21 at-bats before you send their butts back down to AAA. So that's going to clear a spot for the next man up, Grant McCray. He's an outfielder on the AAA team. He'll be back up, coming up for his first start in Major League Baseball to see how he'll do. So let's see if he can take advantage of the situation and get some good at-bats, and maybe he'll stay on the team long enough to get the experience and make a run for starting next year on the Giants. So those are two players we need to watch out for, but Grant McCray is the next man up, and we'll see how it goes. Again, just frustrated with the way baseball treats these guys from the AAA, not giving them enough of a chance. Now, if you're vying for a World Series, I get that totally. If you're the San Francisco Giants, are like the most 500 team you've ever seen in your life, where they can win the games against the worst teams, but can't win a game against some of the middle tier or the best teams. So they are so middle of the road. They're not going to go anywhere, guys. Let's just face it. I don't know how many games out of the wild card they are, but I think the last time I looked, which was yesterday, where they were 3.5 or 4, that might as well be 20. Doesn't matter. They're not going anywhere this year. So they just need to build off of giving those guys in AAA a chance to come up and take some real major league at-bats. That's just the way I feel. So we'll see. Go ahead and leave a comment if you guys would like about that. I would love to talk more about it. Anybody who's watching my videos out there, leave comments. I'll respond back to them very quickly. I love to talk sports when I'm not on this video and I'm not working. So yeah, just leave the comments. Let's talk more about it, and I'll talk more about it on my channel. Not a lot to say about the Giants. Anyway, next up, Golden State Warriors. Is the front office failing Steph Curry? I don't think so, but that is a sentiment going around many of the sports news organizations around the country a little bit lately, because maybe Steph Curry just got done having an amazing performance in the Olympics. But they're asking the question, hey, is the front office wasting Steph Curry's time? Not yet. Not yet. Right now, they can still afford to wait a little bit. They got a good base of a roster right now. Like I said earlier, if they start the season going at it hot, if Draymond stays out of trouble, right? If he stays out of trouble, they get the wins to get them midway through the season. And at that point, there'll be a lot of teams looking to unload that are not going into the playoffs and not ready to win now. I think the Warriors roster is way better than people give them credit for. Remember, last year we lost a lot of games because Draymond was suspended for quite a bit. If he's not suspended, we win 5, 6 more games, maybe 10 more games than we actually did. That puts us in the playoffs, guys, and then that's a different conversation. Then you're not talking about the Warriors wasting Steph Curry's time. Then you're talking about 1 or 2 players away from going for another ring, which that's what I truly believe is the case now. That's why when you see in the offseason, when they're starting to say, oh, Warriors didn't get Lauri Markkanen, or Warriors didn't get whoever. I mean, the reason why is they're not going to give up the farm. They have players on their team that they still believe in, and I still think are really good and can develop into great players. So I say, let's stop talking about how much time the Warriors are wasting on Curry. They're not wasting his time. They are thinking long-term, because the kid still has 3-4 years left of great basketball on him. He's not slowing down. Guys, did you see the Olympics? He's still dominating completely. So just keep that in mind. He's got many years left. I know he's an older player by age standards, but his body is not slowing down, okay? So the guy's going to get some time. Don't try to trade away all your players for one guy. That one guy's not going to make a difference, but now you're basically, your bench is, crap. You got nobody on the bench that can score a point, right? You don't have many starters that you can put out there to score with Curry. Nobody ever won with 2 players. The Warriors won championships because not only of their starting 3, but their roster on the bench was really, really good. You have to have a complete team. Look at the Nuggets. The Nuggets did it, right? Look at the teams that win championships. It's more than about one guy. You have to have many. So you don't want to give away the farm for that. Which brings me to my next point. Okay? Sports Illustrated came out today and gave a trade scenario for Kawhi Leonard. Guys, this is the most throw crap against the wall to see if it'll stick thing I've ever heard, and that is why I started this channel in the first place, okay? Kawhi Leonard's not coming to the Warriors. Why? I'll give you a couple reasons. 1, he's too expensive. 2, if they could afford him, he is the most I don't want to play basketball anymore guy in the NBA. He is a superstar pretender at this point. When he's out there, yes, he's awesome. How often is he out there, guys? He is sitting on the bench, chilling, watching the games more than he's playing at this point. Yes, he's an amazing player, but he doesn't want to play. He just wants to take his rest time. Did you see Michael Jordan do it? No. Michael Jordan went out there and won in Game 7 when somebody poisoned him with pizza. He still went out there. If Kawhi Leonard got poisoned with pizza, he'd sit out the rest of the season. His stomach would hurt and he would sit out the rest of the season. It'd be crazy. So this is not a player I think the Warriors would target because he's getting older. He sits out all the time. He's hurt, and we're not trying to get hurt more. We got players that get hurt every once in a while. We got Curry that gets hurt every once in a while. We're not trying to go that direction. So please, Sports Illustrated and anybody that reads this crappy articles, you're wasting your time. Watch my videos instead. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give you the realistic scenarios, and you can count on those half the time. I'm not going to be right all the time, but I'll tell you one thing. The Warriors aren't going after Kawhi Leonard. I'll tell you that right now. And if the Clippers were willing to give him up, they'd want a king's ransom, and he's not worth it because he's hurt all the time. And when he's not hurt, he wants to rest. These players nowadays, when you want to talk about time management, he's the king of time management. Anthony Davis might be right behind him, LeBron James, but that dude, Kawhi Leonard, is the king of time management. I need my rest so I can play later, whenever the hell that is, guy. So we're not going after Kawhi Leonard. We wouldn't spend our time and money and effort on that. If that happens, I will be so damn shocked. I mean, I don't know. I'll create a whole video apologizing to everybody about how wrong I was if that kind of thing ever happens. So again, to my point, as a Warrior fan, as a sports fan, people out there understand that we have some time left on the clock to be patient, to get the players we need for Curry to succeed. Remember, we don't really need another superstar. A superstar would be great. We need great supplemental players who can shoot the ball for a good average, right? We don't need somebody who is going to be a max superstar player. It would be great if we could get that, and that's a bonus. I'm totally down for that. But remember, with Curry and Draymond on the court and some of the rookies that we have that are come up, Pajimsi is looking like the next great thing. I really believe he's going to be like a baby Curry. He's not going to be as good as Curry, but nobody is going to be. But he's got that attitude. You can see it about him. He's fearless, and he's going to score. So that's a guy to kind of watch out for. But anyway, we have time to get the right pieces. We only need a couple more pieces on the Warriors to really go for it and get another ring for Curry. I really believe that. So patience is the key in everything, right? So that's what we got to do. Got to sit back and wait and watch the team they put together. Steve Kerr is a great coach. Anybody that says he's not, I mean, just watch what he's done the last 10 years with the Warriors. He makes some decisions that make me think, what the hell are you doing sometimes? Yeah, he does. But overall, his record, he's proven. So I'd say trust the process, basically, and see where it goes. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate it. And on the note of Kawhi Leonard never wanting to play because he always wants to practice, or not practice, but rest so he can practice to get back on the court, just remember one thing. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate all your help. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.